The reputation of your organization depends on the performance, reliability, and security of its systems. We all know that. It's critical to monitor your systems closely to identify any performance problems or attacks before they can affect users. For example, if your payment system is unable to process user transaction during a high volume holiday sales period, your customers will likely lose confidence in your business and you will lose the reputation and slowly your business. Now you can easily guess what we're going to talk about in this video. It's monitoring strategy on Azure. Welcome back to Azure for Architects series, and this is the next video in line, designing a monitoring strategy on Azure. Well, we'll be talking about full stack monitoring, security monitoring options that we have in Azure. We are not going so deep technically, but we'll be talking from the architectural perspective and the needs which is required to talk to the customer. All right, so let's get started. Meanwhile, let me share my screen so that you would have something to catch with your eyes. It would be more of a theoretical, but very important. All right, so let me quickly share my screen. Okay. All right, I hope you can see now. Well, I have wrote down a few things already to catch or grasp your eyes, or you could think it as a podcast. You can just listen and it will make all the sense. All right, let's get started. All right, first, let's understand what's full stack monitoring. What is a full stack monitoring? Okay. So full stack monitoring is a complete approach to the monitoring, diagnosis of application, infrastructure, and security issues that includes telemetry collection, tracking key performance indicators, and the capability to isolate problems and perform RCT, which is root cause analysis. With the right tools, you can monitor the performance of your infrastructure and applications. We all know that. You may also monitor for security risks and suspicious activity. Finally, you can collect information on issues as soon as they arise, analyze the information you have collected, and respond. Well, by monitoring your application and infrastructure with a full stack approach, you respond to changes and issues appropriately and on time. Over time, your organization will become more productive, cost-effective, secure, and competitive. These are the benefits when you apply the full stack monitoring, and you can easily understand why. We were talking about application monitoring, infrastructure, platform security. So let's try to understand one by one why we need to monitor. For example, let's take first application. Why we need to monitor applications? Well, it is very simple. We want to improve our applications' health. We want to make them better. That's why we need monitoring. And how monitoring will help them doing these things? Well, we can configure alerts and automate our response, which will help us dealing with the issues that can affect our application or its performance. Okay, so that's how it will help us. So by monitoring our application for issues as it's being developed, you prevent errors and exceptions later when your application goes to production. What does that mean? That means if we are monitoring diligently our application, even in the development phase, we will not push this to the production until we are sure there will not be issues that we are encountering right now in the development, right? So this will save a lot of money, because if issue comes in the production that could easily be fixed in development, you see, it's the entire cycle. Get back to the development, fix it, go back to the production will be hampered, entire code would be changed, development cycles, the entire thing, time waste, money waste. So monitoring can help you save cost, will help you make your application better, it will help you to better the performance of the application. And that's why we need to monitor application, right? That's why we need to monitor our application. All right, so now we understand why we need to monitor our application and what are the benefits and how can we do it. Now it's time to understand why infra. Just from the perspective by which, because we need to talk to the customer all the time, we need to convince them, we need to make them understand, and sometimes they're not technical. So from that perspective, we are just trying to understand each and every aspect of the monitoring, of full stack monitoring, or a holistic view of monitoring. So why monitor infra? Well, different kinds of issues can affect your infrastructure. You might have to deal with performance issues or problems that could render your services unreachable, unavailability of your infrastructure. Any of these issues can result in decreased productivity, financial loss, or damage to your organization reputation. Again, we're talking about almost same things: performance, availability, finance loss, and the organization reputation. Because infra is a huge part of it, right? So we need to monitor infra. You want to deal with any issues that arise in a timely and effective way. You don't want your customer to face issues. You don't want to lose your customer. You want to fix the issues as soon as it about to come, or you are aware it can come, so that you can save your customers. So you configure alerts on your infrastructure to monitor for various issues. For example, you configure alerts for resource utilization of your infrastructure, so that as soon as you have the threshold utilization, there would be an alert and you would be aware it might hamper your application, right? Availability and health of your infrastructure. You should be aware all the time about the availability, right? And the occurrence of a specific event at the operating system level. So if you're monitoring or you're configuring the alerts for these kind of issues, resource utilization, availability, health, or a specific event on the OS level, you'll be getting all the notifications, whether you need to act or you not need to act, or you can sit relax, or you can configure the automated response as well, right? So these alerts will help you start a process where a person receives a notification and then takes appropriate action. You can also trigger automated responses to alerts with playbooks, webhooks, logic apps. There are a number of things available as a cloud native as well. So in addition to monitoring your deployed application and infrastructure resources, you should also use Azure's built-in capabilities to monitor your Azure platform resources. Azure resources such as storage account, key vaults, past services all have performance matrices and resource logs that can be viewed and analyzed to track performance and availability. Additionally, many Azure resources have dedicated insights that offer predefined monitoring experiences across multiple subscription, RGs, and resources for the specific resource type. If I could show you right now, yeah, for example, this is our Azure platform. And if you type Azure Monitor, Monitor right here. These are all those options under insights you can see. That's what I was talking about. Key vaults, Cosmos DB, containers, storage accounts. All right. So Azure Monitor Storage Insight displays the usage and latency for multiple storage accounts across 2 subscriptions. You can also view and collect logs related Active Directory of your Azure tenant and service health and activity logs for Azure subscription. A full stack monitoring solution includes visibility into platform resources on which application and infrastructure depend. So this is what exactly the full stack monitoring means. It's not about only the performance and availability of your application and infrastructure, but also Azure platform. And the cloud native tool, built-in capability of Azure, with the help of Azure Monitor, you can get the insights into these, right? So, okay. So as of now, we talked about performance, availability monitoring. It is essential to monitor the security of your applications and infrastructure to ensure that they always remain protected and available. For example, you should monitor and alert on risks to the security of infrastructure, such as suspicious user account or malicious IP addresses, data exfiltration. Your security monitoring solution should include strong automated anomaly detection and event management to combine multiple related events into a single actionable alert. And this is also part of full stack monitoring, because if you're leaving security, it doesn't matter how available you are, how good your performance is. If you encounter any security related issue, everything is gone, right? So security is very, very important. And you should secure your entire organization with the help of monitoring. That's what you're talking about here, monitoring, right? So security monitoring is also part of full stack monitoring approach. So we talked about monitoring as a holistic view. Now let's see what we have in Azure for monitoring, like monitoring options. Okay. There were lots of scattered options earlier, but now Azure Monitor provide you unified, centralized way of managing monitoring. So let's understand Azure Monitor a little bit. Well, Azure Monitor is a service for collecting, analyzing, and acting on telemetry from your cloud and let me repeat it again, and on-premises environment. Yes, you can utilize Azure Monitor for your on-premise environment as well. It helps you maximize the availability and performance of your application and services. Azure Monitor enables you to detect and diagnose application, infrastructure, and platform issues, as we have already seen in the Azure portal. Just a glance, because this is not a technical, hardcore technical video. This is I've said so many times. Okay. All right. Let's get back to Azure Monitor. Well, Azure Monitor you can analyze metrics and logs from monitored resources, and it also supports operational workflows with alerts and automated actions, and enables you to create visualizations such as dashboard and reports. Okay. If I have to show you, let me go back, and if I type here Azure Monitor, okay, and let's go to the documentation. You can simply see right here. All these things, application, OS, Azure resources, Azure subscription as a tenant, and custom resources that could be on-prem, right? All the data in the form of metrics and logs collected, and it will give you insights, pardon me, insights. You can visualize it, you can analyze it with the help of analytics, cluster query. You can respond with the help of alerts, and you can integrate logic apps and export APIs. You see, the one unified centralized Azure Monitor, and superpower of this, it can do a lot of things for you if you utilize it as a full stack monitoring approach. All right. So all data collected by Azure Monitor fits into one of two fundamental types, metrics and logs. Now let's say what is metrics is, if someone asks you. Metrics are numerical values that describe some aspect of a system at a particular point in time. They are lightweight and capable of supporting near real-time scenarios. And okay, then what's logs? Well, logs contain different kinds of data organized into records with different set of properties for each type. Telemetry such as events and traces are stored as logs in addition to performance data so that it can all be combined for analysis. It's a point in time numeric value, and it's a flow of logs, telemetry, yeah. All right, so log data collected by Azure Monitoring can be analyzed with queries. Right here, log analytics, cluster query, you can use that language to analyze it. You can create and test queries. In the Azure portal, of course, you can then either directly analyze the data using different tools, or save queries for use for the visualization or alert rules, right? If you create the alert with the help of some query, what's the output? If output matches, alert will trigger. You can call the actions, right? Could be logic app or export, anything, right? All right, let's get back to here. Now, just few examples of what you can do with the Azure Monitor. These are a few examples I write down here. You can detect and diagnose issues across applications and dependencies with the help of application insights that is also inbuilt. Correlate infrastructure issues with VM insights and container insights that I showed you here. Insights, container insights, and VM. All right, it will help you to drill into your monitoring data with log analytics. Cluster query, I told you. It supports operations at a scale with smart alerts and automated actions. CPU raises 70%. Let's increase VM count by 1 or maybe 2. It will help you to create visualization with Azure dashboards and workbooks, and collect data, which is the base of all the monitoring. Collect data from monitored resources using Azure Monitor metrics. Now let's check the options for security monitoring. Yes, if you think Azure Security Center, you're not wrong, but there are some changes, right? So Azure Security Center is a service that manages the security of infrastructure from a centralized location. Use Security Center to monitor the security of your workloads, whether they are on premises or in the cloud. It provides you with tools that improve your protection against security threats. Use Security Center to monitor the health of your resources and implement recommendations. Security Center is natively integrated with Azure services, including PaaS services like Azure SQL. For IaaS services, we need to install the agent. And the important thing is what I said at the beginning of Security Center. Azure Security Center and Azure Defender are now called Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. For example, Azure Defender for storage is now Microsoft Defender for storage. So Defender for Cloud is a tool for security posture management and threat protection. It strengthens the security posture of your cloud resources. And with its integrated Microsoft Defender plans, Defender for Cloud protects workloads running in Azure, hybrid, and other cloud platforms. If I show you, if I go to the, where, right here, if I click here and you see now it is Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Earlier it was Azure Security Center. If I type here, Azure Security Center, you don't have any, right? Because it has become Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and you'll find it very, you see, seems like Azure Security Center with security score, regulatory compliance, workload protection, firewall manager. So they have included Security Center and Defender and created the security posture management as a single plane, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Well, we'll cover deep down of Defender or Sentinel or security related aspects in the different series of videos. But right now, all right, so it's time to talk about Azure Sentinel a little bit. Azure Sentinel is now called as MS Sentinel, just like Azure Security Center and Azure Defender we just talked about. And MS Sentinel is a scalable cloud-native SIEM and SOAR. What is SIEM? SIEM is security information event management. And what is SOAR? Security orchestration automated response solution. Microsoft Sentinel delivers intelligent security analytics and threat intelligence across the enterprise, providing a single solution for alert detection, threat visibility, proactive hunting, and threat response. We can use MS Sentinel to collect data on the devices, users, infrastructure, and applications across your enterprise. Built-in threat intelligence for detection and investigation can help reduce false positives, which are very important. We can use Sentinel to proactively hunt for threats and anomalies and respond by using orchestration and automation. Well, we can connect data sources to Sentinel, and these sources include Microsoft services such as Office 365 and Azure Advanced Threat Protection. These sources can also include external solutions such as AWS, CloudTrail, or on-premises sources. So it's not limited to Azure only. And you can use playbooks to automate your response to alerts in Sentinel. You can configure playbooks by using Logic Apps. All right, so Azure Sentinel and Azure Security Center use Azure Monitor Logs. Let me repeat myself. Azure Sentinel or Microsoft Sentinel or Microsoft Defender use Azure Monitor Logs as their underlying logging data platform. That's how Azure Monitor important is. These security solutions store their data in log analytics workspace. And I'll be creating a video on log analytics workspace separately. But for now, let's complete this series. So these security solutions store data in the analytics workspace, which are centralized storage and management locations where your app, infrastructure, and security logs are collected and aggregated for analysis, troubleshooting, and auditing. This centralized approach enables you to perform correlation and run investigations across application performance, infrastructure performance, and security logs within the same data analytics service with a single user interface using the Costo query language. We recommend that you use as few workspace as possible and manage user and your team access to the log data using resources or workspace permissions. Well, that's all about monitoring strategy, but this is not all, to be honest. We'll be creating few videos on the monitoring strategy as well. This was just the high level overview of a full stack monitoring, performance, availability, security, platform, a lot of things that comes under a holistic monitoring strategy, right? We'll be talking about applications, application insight for the monitoring of application, right? We'll be talking about analyzing resource utilization performance using monitor insights as well. So you might see one or two video on monitoring. So let's meet in another one. Till then, take care.